You've heard it a million times, right? Two heads are better than one. It's kind of the golden rule of teamwork, the whole reason we even bother. But there's another saying, one that throws a bit of a wrench in the works.
And there it is, too many cooks spoil the broth. So, which is it? This is the fundamental puzzle of working with other people, isn't it? On one hand, collaboration can create pure magic. On the other, it can be a total disaster of crossed wires and wasted energy.
So what's the deal? What's the secret sauce that makes some teams just click while others just spin their wheels in frustration? How do we get that collaborative magic without the mess?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Over the next few minutes, we're diving into the science of what makes great teams tick. The goal here is simple, to give you the playbook so you can be that person everyone is thrilled to have on their team.
Okay, let's start with the big goal. The magic word everyone's chasing is synergy. It's this awesome idea that when a team really works, the result isn't just what each person could do added together, it's something more, something bigger.
It's literally like 1 + 1 = 3. It breaks the normal rules of math. Think about a band like the Beatles. Yeah, you had 4 incredibly talented guys, but what they created together was something else entirely, something that changed the world. That is synergy.
But synergy has an arch nemesis, and it's called social loafing. You know exactly what this is. We've all seen it. It's that person in the group project who just kind of fades into the background, letting everyone else do the heavy lifting. The free rider problem.
And listen, this isn't just in your head. It's a real, documented psychological effect. In a classic study, a researcher had people pull on a rope, and the results were crystal clear. People pulled way harder when they thought they were pulling alone than when they were part of a team. It's just human nature. When you can blend into the crowd, it's easier to put in a little less effort.
So how do we fight that? How do we build teams that actually get that synergy and avoid the whole social loafing trap? Well, it all starts with the setup. You've got to have the right ingredients from the very beginning. Let's take a look.
Think of it like baking a cake. You need the right ingredients, or it's just not going to work. For a team, that means 3 things. You need the right members, people with the right skills and different perspectives. You need the right task. Everyone has to know exactly what the goal is. And this one's huge. You need the right size.
For that last point, Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos had this brilliant, simple rule of thumb: the 2-pizza team. The idea is, if 2 pizzas aren't enough to feed your team is too big. Why? Because smaller teams mean less bureaucracy, clearer communication, and way more personal accountability. There's nowhere to hide.
Okay, so let's say you've got the right people, the right task, the right size. Awesome. But teams don't just magically become amazing overnight. Nope. Every team goes on a journey, an evolution. And it turns out, this journey has some very predictable stages. They're called forming, storming, norming, and performing. Let's break that down real quick. Forming is the nice to meet you phase. Storming is, well, it's the conflict phase. Norming is when things start to gel. And performing is when the team is a well-oiled machine.
So stage 1, forming. This is the honeymoon period. Everyone's on their best behavior, right? It's all very polite. People are just testing the waters, trying to figure out who's who, what the unwritten rules are, and where they fit in.
Then comes the storming stage. And this is where the politeness starts to wear off. Disagreements pop up, people's different work styles start to clash. It can feel really uncomfortable, maybe even a little chaotic. But here's the secret. This part is not just normal, it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, this storming stage is the critical zone. It is the make or break moment for any team. The teams that learn how to navigate this conflict, how to argue productively and come out the other side, they become great. The ones that can't, they usually just fizzle out.
But if you can get through that storm, you reach the other side. That's norming. This is where the team finds its groove. You establish your rules, you build real trust, and from there, you slide right into performing. And that's the goal, right? The team is just humming along, focused, and crushing its goals.
So your team is performing. You're in the clear, right? Not so fast. Even the best, most high-performing teams can fall into some pretty nasty psychological traps that can derail everything. Let's talk about how to navigate this danger zone.
And the big one, probably the most dangerous trap of all, is called groupthink. This is what happens when everyone is so focused on agreeing and maintaining harmony that nobody wants to rock the boat. The desire to get along literally kills the team's ability to think critically. It's consensus at all costs.
And there are some major red flags you can watch out for. The team starts feeling like it can do no wrong, this illusion of invulnerability. You'll see people censoring themselves because they're afraid to voice a dissenting opinion. And then you get these mind guards, people who actively shut down any information that might challenge the group's happy consensus.
The good news is you can actively fight this. There are real, concrete tactics. You can formally assign someone the role of devil's advocate. Their only job is to find flaws in the plan. You can bring in an outside expert to give a fresh, unbiased perspective. Or, and this is a great one, you can hold a second chance meeting to reevaluate a big decision after everyone's had a chance to sleep on it.
So, this all comes back to handling conflict in a healthy way. It's not about avoiding disagreements, it's about making them productive. As you can see here, people have different styles. Some are really assertive, some are more cooperative. The sweet spot, the real goal for a great team is collaboration, where you're both assertive about your ideas, but also cooperative in finding the best possible solution for everyone.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the team as a whole, the big picture. But now, let's zoom all the way in. Let's talk about you. Because at the end of the day, a team is just a group of individuals. So what can you do, personally, to make a real difference?
It really boils down to a few fundamental behaviors, and these are things anyone can do. Be the person who encourages and motivates others. Be the person who genuinely listens, not just waits for their turn to talk. Be someone who shares information and ideas freely instead of hoarding them. And maybe the most important of all, just be reliable. Do what you say you're going to do. It's that simple, and it's that powerful.
So let's make this real. I want to leave you with a question to think about. Based on everything we've just covered, what is the one thing you're going to do differently in your very next team meeting to be a better team member? Just pick one. Because that's how great teams are actually built. Not with some grand sweeping change, but with one person deciding to make one positive contribution at a time.